Hi there, I'm Kathy Harvey. Welcome to the Real Estate Market Update for Seymour, Tennessee. This is June 2026. Today we're going to dive into what's shaping our local housing story. So we will explore everything from inventory and pricing to buyer demand and community growth. So whether you're planning to buy, sell, or simply interested in staying informed, this overview will help you understand our current market and where we are heading. So just a brief community overview. We are located in Sevier County, Tennessee. We are set in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. We are an unincorporated community. We have no city taxes. Our population is 16,216. That is as of the 2024 census. The area of Seymour, the zip code 37865, is 16 square miles. And we are a commute hub, which means that we have easy access to Knoxville, Sevierville, Gatlinburg, and Pigeon Forge. So the population growth, Seymour's population has grown steadily over the past few years. This influx has fueled new construction and revitalized older neighborhoods. So when you look at our actual population growth, 10,919 in the year 2010, 16,260 in the year 2024, you can see that we've had a 48.5% population growth. That's roughly 3.5% each year. So how do those ages break down? We have about 4,000 residents under the age of 18 years old. We have nearly 10,000 between the age of 18 and 64. And then our ages 65 and above, we have nearly 3,100. The median age in Seymour is 42.2 years old, and the median household income is $82,855. So how did they get here? Some came from the Knoxville metro expansion, so they were suburban spillover. Some were remote workers during COVID. Since you didn't have to live in the area that you worked, many of them migrated in this direction. Things that were attractive to them, first of all, the beauty of the mountains. And then, of course, we have a 97 to 99% broadband coverage. If you are a remote worker, you need to have good internet access. And then retirees in 2020 during COVID, many people that were nearing retirement age or at retirement age went ahead and retired because of their concern over catching COVID. And so they retired to the mountain area, the area of affordability and the better lifestyle. And then, of course, the investors with the real estate market surge, rentals became in demand. In fact, the rental demand was up 15% year over year during that time frame. And over a 3-year time frame, the actual number of rentals increased by 83.3%. So looking at who lives in Seymour. So Seymour residents represent a diverse blend of the backgrounds from lifelong Tennesseans to families relocating from the Midwest and beyond. The median age of 42 reflects a balanced mix of young professionals, growing families, and then the 65 and above shows a number of retirees. So understanding who lives here helps us anticipate future demand and tailor our real estate strategies accordingly. So you can see we have 6,200 total homes. We've talked about the income. Home ownership, 77.5%. Home ownership, that is above the national average. Education, 94.5% have a high school education. And then bachelor's degree and above, 23.9%. 16.9 actually have a bachelor's degree, and the other 7% represent graduate degrees and above, and those are typically age 25 and above. The travel distance, like we talked about before, about 28.5 minutes to Knoxville. And then we also have a small foreign population. 3.1% of our population is foreign born. Okay, so Seymour homeowners have an obvious cost advantage when compared to communities like Knoxville. No city tax, average monthly mortgage is lower, and lower price per square foot are just some examples. let's say you purchased a home in Seymour for $360,000 and you purchased that same home in Knoxville for $360,000. Okay, because you do not have city taxes in Seymour, your property tax would be $1,116 roughly. But that same cost home in Knoxville would be $4,200 and maybe more per year for taxes because you pay a county and a city tax. So there are several benefits of cost advantages of living in Seymour over any of the other communities nearby. So Seymour's housing market continues to show steady strength. Inventory remains limited with just 102 active listings, keeping competition high among the buyers, of course. According to the Zillow Home Value Index, the typical home value in Seymour is $371,085. The home prices are reflecting a healthy demand without runaway inflation. The number of days that a property stays on the market has shortened slightly, showing that well-priced homes are moving quickly. These trends highlight a balanced environment, one that rewards both sellers who prepare strategically and the buyers who act decisively. So this is what everybody wants to know. Home selling prices. How much money can I get if I sell my home? So the median selling price has somewhat stabilized since the COVID frenzy numbers of 2020 through 2023, signaling sustainable growth rather than volatility. So sellers benefit from strong demand while buyers still find relative affordability compared to nearby markets. So let's look at this graph a little closer. All right, so in 2020, right at the beginning of COVID, the median home sales price was $230,000. 2 years later, that same home, the median home sales price was $365,000. That was a 58.7% surge price. Okay, by the next year in 2023, that median home sales price, this same home was selling for $395,000. So if you happen to be one of the people that sold your home during this surge, you probably did very well. So beginning in 2023, these numbers began to trend downward, and they ended up coming down about 8% to our current market. So right now we're seeing maybe a little bit buyer's window. The median home sales price in 2026, the spring, June 2026, is $360,000. So if we look at the median listing price trend, so sellers in Seymour are showing renewed confidence. With steady demand and manageable competition, many homeowners are choosing to list now rather than wait. The most successful listings share a common thread: realistic pricing, strong visuals, and clear communication. So sellers who partner with experienced real estate agents and prepare their homes thoughtfully are seeing excellent results. So let's look at this a little bit closer. So in May of 2025, 1 year ago, houses were being listed for $424,000. And you take that over to April of 2026, right now, homes are being listed for $403,000. So the problem here is the mismatch. If the median selling price of a home is $360,000 and the median listing price is $403,000, the homes are probably being listed higher than they should be. Like I said earlier, the most successful listings share a common thread: realistic pricing. So it's very hard for sellers to let go of those prices that we've experienced over the last couple of years. But we're finding the homes that are listed for more than their value will have several price reductions before they sell, and they'll be on the market a little bit longer than the other homes that are realistically priced. Okay, so when we look at price per square foot, Seymour remains competitive within Sevier County and the surrounding areas. So this affordability continues to draw buyers who want the proximity to Nashville without actually living in Nashville and without sacrificing comfort or scenery. So it's one of the key reasons Seymour's market remains resilient. So if we look a little closer here, we'll see that Seymour's average price per square foot is $205, whereas Knoxville is $228, Maryville's $241, Sevierville's $252, and then of course Gatlinburg is $310. But you have to remember Gatlinburg is benefiting from a 51.2% premium because of the vacation market pricing. They're selling vacation homes down there. So Seymour and the other areas don't benefit from that. But you can see where the $205 per square foot is a benefit comparing it to the other areas. Now, as far as affordability and price change, 1 year ago, the homes in Seymour were the average price per square foot was $235 per square foot. So we have also come down on our pricing. All right, so let's look at how fast are the homes selling. So over the past 12 months, the average days on the market for Seymour listings have been everywhere. They've been anywhere from 24 days to as high as 100 days to sell. So currently, Seymour homes that are priced realistically could easily go pending in as little as 29 days. And a market that goes to pending in less than 30 days is still considered competitive. And you can see that it is still attracting motivated buyers. So for the sellers, it's a reminder that preparation pays off, clean presentation, accurate pricing, and professional photography make all the difference. So let's briefly review the growth timeline since COVID. So as you can see, the pandemic migration surge began in 2020 and 2021. Seymour home prices were reaching historic highs in 2022 and continued into 2023. It was definitely a seller's market. Due to the surge, the builders responded to the increased demand and began putting up new subdivisions. The number of active listings on the market increased from 63 to 81. In 2024, the market began to normalize, and by 2025, the market was beginning to open up a buyer's window. So now in 2026, we have 102 active listings. Prices have come down 5.68% year over year. We have the lowest property taxes when you compare them to our neighboring communities. But more importantly, we have motivated sellers and buyers that are willing to negotiate with one another. So mortgage rates have fluctuated throughout 2026, but Seymour's affordability continues to cushion the impact. Buyers are adjusting expectations, focusing on long-term stability rather than short-term rate changes. So many are choosing to refinance later, go ahead and get the house, refinance later, or explore creative financing options. So the saying, marry the house, date the rate, fits well here. You can always refinance later. So looking at the tailwinds and the headwinds, you can see that the tailwinds slightly outweigh the headwinds. So the Seymour real estate outlook. We're looking between the year 2026 and 2028. So the Seymour real estate market has been a turbulent, steep climb up and sudden drop since 2020. Seymour transitioned from a fierce seller's market into an environment heavily favoring buyers. Prices saw a notable year-over-year correction, and while the median home values remained in the area of $335,000 and $400,000, the homes still seem to be sitting on the market longer. While the national trends may fluctuate, Seymour's local fundamentals, affordability, location, and quality of life keep it strong. We're experiencing a buyer's window currently and hope to move toward market stabilization toward the end of 2026 and maybe into the beginning of 2027. So mortgage interest rates should ease modestly, and we can move into a growth resumption phase maybe by mid 2027 and into uh, 2028. So going forward, Seymour's market is expected to remain strong and steady with gradual appreciation. Sellers should continue preparing their homes thoughtfully, while buyers can benefit from acting early before competition intensifies. Staying informed and working with trusted professionals will remain to keep you successful. While platforms like Zillow and Realtor.com are great starting points for window shopping, they should not be where you find your guide for navigating the Seymour market. When you rely on a random algorithm to assign you an agent, you miss out on local expertise. To get the best deal, choose a neighborhood expert with deep roots right here in Sevier County, someone who knows the pulse of the local community. I personally have lived in Seymour for 30 years, and I could not imagine living anywhere else. So the overall message is Seymour's real estate future looks bright. Thank you for joining me for this 2026 real estate market update for Seymour. Our community continues to grow with strength, balance, and heart. Whether you are buying, selling, or simply staying informed, I hope this overview helped you feel confident about the opportunities ahead. I'm Kathy Harvey, and I look forward to helping you make your next move in Seymour.